The Mets couldn't get the sweep of the Marlins on Sunday afternoon as they fell 3-2 at Citi Field. They now have a 10-game stretch that could be critical to their chances of making the postseason. So let's talk some Mets baseball. We're going to do it with the great YouTuber and Mets content creator, my guy Tyler Ward, who joins me now. Wardy, what's going on?
I'm doing okay, Dexter. Could be doing better if we secured a series sweep, but overall, I'm still doing all right at the moment. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. I feel like you would have been happier had you swept the fish, but it didn't happen. But still got a series win, right? That's a positive way of looking at it.
Yes.
We'll try to keep some positivity up during this discussion. And Tyler, the Mets, they just wrapped up their weekend set with that narrow loss to the Marlins. They did win 2 out of 3, as I just mentioned in the series. So what are your overall thoughts on what you saw from this team this weekend?
I saw throughout the first couple games the Mets really holding themselves accountable and listening to David Stearns' remarks that he just made with the media over the past day or so, which had to do a lot with their continued problems with walk rate. The Mets, who have led all the National League in walks per nine, right around 3.84 as of a couple days ago, entering this series, did a fantastic job in their first 2 games in eliminating the walks. As we saw there, Sean Manaea walking the first batter he faced, and then Jose Butto walking the second and final batter that we saw on walks in that entire Game 1 victory there for the Mets. Brilliant job by the Mets collective group overall. Game 2, we saw Luis Severino being trusted by Carlos Mendoza, which I absolutely love, that gut feeling. That's what we want from a manager. From a fan point of view, trusting his guy, and Sevy only walking 1 batter throughout 9 shutout innings, the first thing he's done since 2018 in that regard. But when we look at the collective whole of this Mets team, that is the biggest takeaway for me on the positivity, making sure you're not walking everyone their mother. But that's where it also came back to bite them again, as we saw there in Game 3, that 3-2 loss. Yes, 1 through 9 with runners in scoring position and leaving roughly 10 on base doesn't help. But also doesn't help when the Mets have guys like Reed Garrett, who recently returned from injury, walking everyone once again, which has been a continued issue for the veteran right-hander, who has posted right around a 5 walks per 9 this season. So my biggest takeaway from this is that they looked out strong initially, what David Stearns has been preaching, how these things need to change. And sadly, we came back down to reality, but in the series finale with the ongoing issues the Mets and their bullpen have had pretty much all season long.
But the positive is that in 2 of 3 games, you did see those walks go down, and maybe the Mets can return to that form as they move forward. Now, you just mentioned the bullpen there, Wardy, and despite recent changes to the roster and the bullpen, they've struggled to hold leads at times this season. The bullpen allowed the deciding run late in the game against the Marlins on Sunday. What's your evaluation of the current state of this Mets pen?
My evaluation that this is exactly what David Stearns said heading into the year, in the sense that this is going to be an ever-changing thing. The same way that a couple of days ago we were talking about Adam Ottavino, how could he still be in this Mets bullpen? Now we're talking today, how is Reed Garrett still in this Mets bullpen? You know, with Danil Nunez working his way back from injury, as we heard from Carlos Mendoza, Mets skipper earlier today, stated himself he'll be pitching 15 to 20 pitches at the AAA level in Syracuse this week. Nunez, who's been one of the most reliable reliever options for the Mets this season, not walking the ballpark the way that most other guys have, will be a vital piece to return, and that's where you then have the greater question. I'm on Reed Garrett, I'm on Adam Ottavino, I'm on, even to a degree, I know some people haven't loved Huascar Brazoban, even though that I think he's had good, both solid and not so great outings, depending on each one he's found himself in. This is a Mets team that, as we currently evaluate their bullpen, will not be looking the same as currently constructed next time we talk, say, a week plus from now. Things are going to continue to change on that front, as they typically do.
Yeah, and evolution, hopefully, to get it to a point where everything is right and well for them and everybody is hitting their mark at the same time out of the pen. But that's something we have to hope for in the future if you are a Mets fan. Now, looking ahead, which Mets fans are going to do right now, the Mets have this coming up, Wardy, a tough 10-game stretch. 3 with the Orioles at home, then back out west to face the Padres and the Diamondbacks. 7 games, 4 with the Padres, 3 with the Diamondbacks. How critical is this stretch for the Mets playoffs aspirations, and are you keeping positive vibes about this 10-game stretch, which looks to be tough?
You have to keep positive vibes, because I think every rational Mets fan goes into this doom and gloom initially when you see, oh, the Mets just casually have probably the most difficult 10-game stretch among all Major League Baseball teams at the moment. 3 against Baltimore. Then you got those key West Coast trip matchups yet again before the month ends. A second West Coast trip in 1 month. Yes, that is crazy to say, and it is true against the Arizona Diamondbacks, who have not been playing their best baseball as of late at the time of recording this over the past 24 to 48 hours. And the San Diego Padres, who have still been getting the job done and then some. 2 teams lean the way in the wild card race right now, and the Atlanta Braves destined to secure a victory today, which would have the Mets still 2 games teams out of a playoff spot are in dire need to get wins consistently and fast. And I know we have a lot of Mets fans that are very pessimistic heading into this stretch, and I don't blame them, especially with a guy like Brandon Nimmo, who finally found his swing again over this past series, coming back from a stomach virus, had another key home run that we saw, 2 over his past couple stretch of games, and some diving plays. He exited this past game due to a shoulder injury. We'll see how the MRI results are there. Having Nimmo healthy throughout this stretch is vital to their success, with him finally starting to heat things up upon Starling Marte's return. Let's stop with the nonsense with the soul for a soul, if you will. Can we just have everybody together at the same time, please? The same way the Mets need to absolutely pounce here against these opponents and play like they have earlier this year when they've had some tough stretches and actually did fairly well, 500 if not better, because the same way that the Mets have played down to their competition at sometimes this season is the same way that they have played up to more difficult competition that we have seen against the Padres and the Dodgers months ago this season. How will they fare in these 3 series? We'll soon find out, but to say it's vital is an understatement. This 10-game stretch, without question, can make or break the Mets season if it has not already been decided already by the baseball gods.
It really can be that kind of stretch, and we will see how all that plays out. As I said, a very tough 10-game stretch. If you're a Mets fan, you'd like to see them playing some good baseball as they close out this month and hopefully have something to play for as we reach September. That is Tyler Ward, the great YouTuber, great Mets content creator. Check out his work, subscribe to the channel, do all of that. Tyler, glad to talk some Mets baseball with you. Hopefully next time I talk to you, a little bit more positive, maybe after a sweep. Maybe we need that.
Yes, we have the handshake going right now. Mets sweep. We'll be back. Dexter, you'll be right about everything. Final thing before I let you guys out of here is the following regarding this. If the Mets can control their destiny, take advantage. I know you're playing really good teams in the Diamondbacks and the Snakes, but those are 2 teams ahead of you in the wild card. If you go out your way and step up to that competition, win either one, if not both of those series, just like that, you change the dynamic of not only worrying about the Braves, but about the teams ahead of them as well, which could really change the overall dynamic of the wild card picture from now up until 10 days from now. So that's what I'll leave you with. Dexter, thank you so much as always, and let's go Mets.
Anytime. Fantastic point. And as you're saying right there, don't play with your food. Take care of your business. Always can help with that. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.